What's up, what's up, what's up? Yo, I don't even know what to say. I don't have a welcome, I don't have an intro. But this has been a long time coming. I thought I would have done this a long time ago, but I think now is finally time. That's why I don't even have a name for the show. I don't have an intro. There's no logo, there's no nothing. We're just trying to figure this thing out. We're starting somewhere. And yeah, those that know would know. This is not our first time doing this. This is, yeah, this is just the comeback. So I think part of the hashtags I want to put is Bob is back. Bob is back. Grandpa Bob is back, but back in a different space, different industry. One that I've been avoiding, but I've seen I love this industry so much, so much. Excuse me for if I'm maybe speaking like we're figuring this thing out. You and I, we're figuring this thing out together. Anything else in the background, forget about that. This is you and I, right? Cool. Mistakes, we'll figure it out. We're figuring this thing out, but this is gonna be episode one. Episode one. Main thing I did want to speak about is F1. That's gonna be like what this is about. This next chapter of this YouTube page is going to be F1 racing in South Africa. As much of it I can get information, as close as I can get to it as well. Hey, this light is blinding me, but forgive me. I'm still just trying to figure it out. Right now we're a one man show, but we're gonna figure it out. So I have not yet given this thing a name. I'll give it a name. We'll figure it out together. We'll figure out logos and all that other rubbish. If this thing is meant to be like this, you'll help me as well. But from what I'm understanding from the instructions on the box, this is how this must sit. I do have a script, so forgive me. That's also because the script is very prep. It's called prep. Yes, it's called a prep. I have a prep. That's what it's called. So yes, as you do know, Uncle Bob, Grandpa Bob, those that know Bob, know Bob, those that know TT, know TT, and I'm leaving it there. If you know anything else, that's not me. That's really not me. It's 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 not me. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. The year's at the end. We have, I think, four races. We should have four races. Should be Brazil. I think, yeah, Brazil and something. Brazil and yeah, there's Brazil, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. You know, those are our last four races. First one, obviously, Brazil is on the 9th of November, so next weekend. So I think this is the perfect time to speak about that, because also a lot of what's going to happen with the show is going to be after the race, right? And because the race is on Sundays, I want to try to release these on Mondays. And then during the week, we talk about other things. But as things stand, I'm not a big fan of this dude. Lando is currently leading, but he's only leading by 1 point. He's McLaren's golden boy. I think last season I was a fan. This season, not really. I think McLaren tried too hard with him, as that Piastri was doing better than him, but because they could see that Piastri was going to win, it feels almost as if they were sabotaging him. Whereas they could have let Piastri go. They could have let him run. They really could have let him run, let him win, and not have to always have team orders, because team orders, I think, have fucked them up. They've slow tire pit stops as well, like your slow tire pit stop, the slow pit stops as well have also caused quite a few problems with them left. But right now, I think what needs to happen is they should just let them race. I think that's the honest truth. Let them race. Don't try to put Norris above Piastri. I think let them race. I think it was Michael Massey who he said, uh, we weren't racing. We weren't racing, so let them race. But with how things stand, for Piastri to win, he has to win every single race. He has to, yeah, from practice to qualifying, and the actual race on the Sundays. He has to win every single race. He can't slip up. The only other person that's in that same position is Verstappen. Verstappen has to win every single race. He can't lose even one, because if he loses just one race, then his chances for number one contender are gone. I stopped being a fan of Verstappen quite a bit. But also, I think what was nice about the season was the fact that McLaren got a challenger. Not McLaren, Red Bull got a challenger. Remember, they didn't have a challenger for a bit, but now they have a challenger. So it's also interesting. I think what's also nice is where the Constructors' Cup is. McLaren have won. Great, no problem. For me, that's a win because that is one of my favorite brands, two of my favorite cars. One is a P1, the other one is a Senna, third one is an M3. But that's a story for a different day. I'll go into why I love the M3. But Senna, P1, those two, my top two. We'll talk about the brand later on, but that's a good win for us. And now there's a fight for second and third place. So between Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell, and Ocon, right? That's literally where the most important race is happening. The second most important, because the first one is still happening. The first one is still happening, but Leclerc and Hamilton just need double point finishes. That's it. This thing of DNFs and engine failures and wall crashes and mishaps and sorry team, I'll do better. No, that just can't happen. Hamilton is now at a different place, and I think the adjustment has been harder than what we all thought, but a lot weaker than what we expected. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine, but we still gonna give him the grace. I think he moved to Ferrari to finish his career. I think he's in the stages where he's planning his retirement. Not to say he's retiring, but he's planning his retirement, and he would want to have his retirement at Ferrari. So I think that's why he made the move there. Besides that, I also think that Mercedes are not innovating, because I think them being ahead for so long, having the advantage for so long, and the rules changing every other day just because people were trying to finally compete with them, obviously then cut them in half. But there isn't much innovation that's now happening, because whenever they innovate, then two races down the line, there's now a new rule, right? I saw now as well, all the drivers are complaining about next year's car. We'll also go into the technicalities of the different cars and stuff like that. But yeah, Leclerc, Hamilton, they just need double point finishes, and then Ferrari could possibly then see second in the Constructors' Cup. Benz, I think Ocon and Russell are figuring it out. They are not at their greatest. I think Ocon is quite okay. Look at Ocon. What's this boy's name, man? Not Ocon, man. Antonelli. That's his name, Kimi Antonelli. Yes, Antonelli's figuring it out. Antonelli's coming right, and yeah, he's coming into his, like, I think Hamilton and Russell were one of the best teams there, because Russell is a rookie who's coming in to do a job, but he was now with this experienced older guy, which is sometimes what I think maybe the F1 movie was trying to portray, right? That Hamilton will come back to the top at some point, but hey, that's just that. But also, this season was slightly boring. I know for me, this season was slightly boring. I think something I personally, but that's my personal preference, is that, man, some of the some of the street circuits, not a fan. Some of the tracks, not a fan, but that's F1 politics. I am now obviously in a stance that I wish it would come now finally to Kyalami, but not just Kyalami. I would wish that we maybe have like a street. Imagine having a street circuit in either Durban or Cape Town. How beautiful that will be. How fun that will be. Like they close off parts of Greenpoint, or they close off like parts of Umhlanga, and they create like an actual street circuit. If not, right? And this I think would also be a very nice street circuit is Soweto, like the area surrounding the FNB Stadium. That would really be so dope. Imagine if we had a circuit around there. That would be so dope. And then close it off nicely. And inside the stadium, then we have like a fan park thing where you can go in and you can watch. And they build stands as well around the road. That'll be really cool. But that's varying. That's very much varying. Yeah, those are my thoughts for the next four races. Those are really my thoughts. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot. I talk about certain things and then I veer off. That's because a lot of thoughts are firing all at the same time. I think maybe that's why this has been coming for so long. But now that it's going to start happening, it gives me a chance, and maybe that'll contribute to the consistency of posting frequently because there's so many thoughts. There's so many. So I think I need somebody like to sit right down, like as I'm going through every single episode, just to sit right down and tell me, hey, we're at this, and then I can write, okay, cool, next episode, this, next episode, next episode. But yeah, please do suggest names. If this was an AI prompt and you're helping us choose a name, take this into consideration. We are of African descent, so calling it Diarra Zone or motion what it's gonna be very difficult because we're yes we wanna reach the rest of the world, but let's be more African centered, South African. I would say Tsonga, but they're not be eliminating the rest of y'all, and some of y'all are very rubbish. So so let's be very, yeah, come up with a nice name. Send me something that you think would work, would be fun to tag along, to have on t-shirts, to have on a phone cover, to have as a sticker, to have as a background, you know. Yeah, I think that's literally about it. There isn't much more, but yeah, there's this guy that I really like, Stephen Bartlett, the guy on Diary of a CEO. For those of you that don't know his actual name, I'm paraphrasing. He says, "This is for. I hope, I hope no one is watching. Yes, I hope no one is watching. But for those that are watching, thank you. We're still gonna figure this out. I don't know what we're going to call this, but we're going to figure it out. But as for my own prediction on the last two races, I think the race is going to be between Lando and Max. I think team orders are going to come so that Piastri is going to sit down and Max is then going to punish that. And because of that, the very last two races, or the last race even, will be fully about Max or Lando. Thank you for watching. I don't know how long this went on, but thank you for watching. I think this is going to be a fun journey. This is going to be interesting. And to all those that were there in the beginning, I do want to say that Grandpa Bob is back. Grandpa Bob is back and better. A lot better. Yeah, besides the vest and the background, all that other stuff, but we're back, we're better, and this is going to be a great time. So, yeah, those are the things. Like, subscribe, share, comment, suggest, correct. That's absolutely the goal. Do that. It does go a long way. But yeah, now let's make this fun. Let's really make this like